Hi guys, it's Sarah with Grassroots Evolution, and I'm here today to bring you a monthly message for the sign of Gemini for June 2021. Happy birthday for all my Geminis out there. Sorry it's a little late. Happy belated birthday. I just wanted to come on and bring you a quick message for the month of June. Keep in mind that this message is general, so it may not be for you. It may be for you. Take what you feel resonates, disregard the rest, my friends, and go about your day. But know that no matter what messages do come through, it's still up to you and your active free will in this world and the choices you make and the steps you take to get whatever fulfillment it is you'd like to see. To me, that's personal freedom. That's personal power, baby. And it lies at the tips of your fingers and at the soles of your feet. So use it wisely. For all my subscribers, I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for being here. You guys mean the world to me. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. If this message resonates and you'd like to see more of it, please hit subscribe. And guys, if this message resonates with you, please hit the like button. Help me circulate this message. I truly appreciate your support. So before I get into the cards today, I am going to ask Spirit to join us. I'm going to ask Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, and my team of light, as well as any of your spirit guides that would be here for the highest good of the entire collective. I'm going to ask them to join us here as well if they would like to. So I'm going to ask Spirit to use me as the clearest channel possible. I'm going to ask them to guide, guard, bless, and protect myself this reading, and any of you who would ask for it to use me again as the clearest channel for the most far-reaching of messages, but only messages that are for the highest good of the entire collective of people watching. So let's see what Spirit has to offer. Now just keep in mind that this is at the end of June, so it doesn't necessarily mean this was the message for June. It just means that this is what Spirit's going to bring in this month for you, okay? So I'm going to start off with the Messages of Life Oracle by Mario Dugue. Anyone who's interested, actually, I think it's an old box. I have seen it since, but it looks different than that. It's for anyone who's interested. So let's see here. Spirit, what messages do you have for the sign of Gemini, please, for June 2021? What is the overarching energy you would want Spirit to tell Gemini this month? Not coming out. I heard when I started, just go with the flow, like all these fell. It's too much. So Spirit, they're so big. One card, please. One card, please. Spirit, that you'd like to tell Gemini. There you go. Consciousness. And I want to look at the bottom is growing. And actually, interestingly enough, the rose is the flower for the month of June. So for any of you Geminis born in June, I feel like this is like, it's Spirit's like, you know what? Eventually it's your time to bloom. And it's your time to bloom. Roses are coming out right now. I'm going to read this one first. Also, they're reminding me that Live for Love popped out. When I was pre-shuffling these, Live for Love popped out, and I think that it's important to put love into everything that we do and to make sure that we're going about our day living in a state of love, being love as well, and spreading that out into the world and giving people grace. You know, if people are I heard that getting on our bad side or doing something or crossing our boundaries, we don't need to go after them with hate. We can set our own boundaries, stay within ourselves, keep to ourselves. Consciousness here as well is, I think, important to know. The same with growing, when I'm picking up on, is that when other people around us are in our midst or in a bad mood or acting foul or inappropriate or treating us horribly, I heard also there's like neglect in there as well. Whatever this is, that's not a representation of us, that's a representation of them. And I actually feel like there's a lot changing right now. I think some of you are finally coming to this realization that it doesn't matter. The external world around you and how they feel about you, how they treat you, that's their crap to deal with. And you are this beautiful, blooming individual. And I want you guys to stay firm and strong in your boundaries and your convictions and who you are. This doesn't mean that we're not going to listen to other people's opinions and that we're not going to allow space to grow, because sometimes what we hold true in our convictions now, 5 or 10 years later, we are going to grow. Maybe even a year later, maybe even a couple days later, our convictions may change. So allow yourself that growth, allow yourself an understanding of consciousness as well, to know that if you know going about your actions is making you happy, if it's making someone else mad but it's not hurting anything, why are they mad? What attachment do they have to whatever you're doing in your life? So I'm going to read to you guys first consciousness. And it says, I am conscious of each thought and feeling that I manifest. Are these energies constructive or destructive? As my inner consciousness is reflected in my surroundings, I overcome my inferior emotions and negative thoughts to leave room for only those that are pure. I am mindful of what I create in this universe. In this way, I become an expression of divine light. And this is really important as well. I heard self-sabotage or negative self-talk. Some of us get this with body image. But being very conscious of, are self-sabotaging thoughts entering my brain? Am I allowing this negativity to corrupt my way of thinking? Am I allowing this to, this small piece of a day to make my whole viewpoint that things are bad? This is really important within our own worlds as well. If we're getting upset with people, are we talking to them, or are we going, I heard gossip, right? Are we going around and talking to other people, when what might be more constructive here is to speak to the person that we actually have the issue with? So, growing says, each day I nourish myself with the light in order to grow in divinity. Through the messages that life brings me, I study my inner being to improve my self in the eyes of God. I'm here to learn and grow, not materially, but at a soul level. I find balance between material and spiritual worlds, and I free myself of inner conflicts. And in this particular case, God is whatever you want to call it. God is source. God is the all-powerful. God is the universe. God is God. It's just however you're going to look at it, okay? So knowing, though, and this is important on this growth, that for many of you, you may have found that the older you get, the less you care about other people's opinions of you. Or hopefully you guys are able to get into a bathing suit on the beach and not really care whether other people look at you. How you feel is so important. And what I'm really hearing is, don't allow other people's opinions to carry so much weight that you feel bad about yourself, especially if they're in a negative mindset. And this is where we have to keep that consciousness to know what is mine, what is not mine. If you're empathic and you're feeling this stuff, you may just want to call in the light, breathe it in, bring it down into your heart center, fill yourself up so you feel this light radiating out of you, and know that you are pure. I heard there's also peacefulness within you, and it is really important that if you start to feel negative thoughts, emotions, reactions, one thing I'm hearing is work out. Get your sweat on, guys. If you are starting to feel tense, you may want to take a walk. Okay, do something to change the way that you feel. And I mean, a walk can definitely clear your head. A good workout session with lifting weights, whatever it is that you need, a good sweat session can actually help sweat out some of those frustrations. So be true to you, free yourself of inner conflicts, and don't worry about the judgments of other people. I apologize profusely, guys, for the background noise. I'm outside and I can't really help it, but I'm also going to actually bring in a supporting energy right now that Spirit wants to let you know is supporting you right now. So this is the Keeper of the Light Oracle by Kyle, not Carl, Kyle Gray. We're going to see what energies are here to support you right now throughout whatever you're growing through. And I think this is definitely, I just feel like it's you coming into your own, and that is so beautiful. Spirit, what messages would you like to let Gemini know right now? What supporting energies are here for Gemini throughout this process and whatever they're going through for the month of June? What messages do you want to convey? So I'm going to take the bottom of the deck, and we have two that fell out. So the bottom of the deck first is Ascended Master Jesus. Forgiveness says you are on the path of love, light, and forgiveness. Father, healing is possible at this time. This could be your father, but this, I heard, could also be other masculine influences within yourself. And this is also really important because as we're growing, as we're expanding our consciousness, if we have naysayers, if we have haters, if we have people that are jealous of us, or just people who never tried anything in their life or failed at things and are scared to go after their dreams, those people may be some of the ones that try and stop us from going after their dreams, or after our dreams, not their dreams. Sometimes it's done out of love. They don't want to see us hurt, but they're putting limitations on us that may not actually be there. We may be very successful. Go after your dreams, but remember, if there's people in your midst that, you know, have hurt you, forgiveness is the way to go about this, because it takes that blackness out of your heart and it releases it. It doesn't necessarily mean even that some people that may have hurt us, some of them maybe truly you don't feel they deserve this forgiveness. Well, the only thing that it does when you hold on to the anger is create resentment and a problem within our own body. So here's where, for your own sake, my friends, release it. For some of you, I definitely feel it is father healing. For some of you, it is just realizing that you, I think, it's not realizing, but here's more, that you're so important in this world. There's also the truth that you need to see. And this is also being super forgiving with yourself, okay? The divine feminine, the Shekinah, the sacred self. Unleash your spirit, express your gifts, dance to the sacred rhythm of life. The divine feminine aspect of yourself, regardless of how you identify as a man or a woman, somewhere in between, however this is, it's not necessarily gender specific. This is just that feminine energy here to go, you know what? You're the creator in your world. I'm getting super emotional and it's making me want to tear up a little bit. We also have Holy Amethyst, Divine Alchemy. Move beyond current challenges and focus on what you desire. We are definitely overcoming and growing from something. There is definitely a whole lot of creative power right now for you. This growth is happening at a soul level. I definitely feel like you were being nudged along or pushed along by spirit because they want to see you achieve your highest good. They want to see you achieve your highest potential, and they're here for you the entire way. If there is some place in your world that needs forgiveness, bring conscious awareness to this. You know, anything that if while I was talking about something throughout here, it triggered you and it made you feel a certain kind of way, what was it? You know, what did it make you feel? Who was this feeling attached to? And how can you use this in your day-to-day world to bring positive change? A lot of times when we're triggered, it's a gift. It may not always seem like a gift, but it's a place where healing needs to happen that we may not have been aware of. So father healing, as well as just other masculine healing of other masculine people in your world, or part of yourself as well. This is really important to give yourself grace. So I'm going to bring a message from the Muse Tarot, trying to keep this short for you guys this month. Spirit, what messages do you have for Gemini here, please, going forward? What's your tarot advice? Wow. Okay, so we have the 6, the one that flew out on top was the 6 of materials. Bottom was the 10 of voices. And we have 3 cards that hit the ground out here. The 7 of voices. I feel like this 7 of voices, if you see the fox around it and the distorted viewpoint, I actually think this is our own stuff, Gemini. I don't feel like this could also be other people in your world who have tried to create a state of confusion or have messed with your brain. I heard gaslighter as well for some of you in relationship, somebody who made you feel, I heard weak, who made you doubt your own progress, somebody who made you feel less than. And this is where some of you, it may be there's forgiveness needed, but what I'm picking up on is we're moving out of a place of where that kind of energy could hold so much weight over us, and we're moving into a place of a lot more balance and awareness of who we are and just how powerful we are when we embrace ourselves. So there's also here the 3 of emotions. If you can see here, this is this Holy Trinity. I also like that she's holding the moon because the moon, it represents the hidden. It's representing our feelings, as well as I feel here it's also representing the stages that we go through and the divine feminine herself, as well as she's sitting in water. She's got these feelings, and it's also on the top of her head. I'm hearing Cancer as well for some of you if you're Gemini close to the time of Cancer. I know myself, I'm on the Cancer cusp of Gemini and Cancer. And we also have the Chariot here, so there's a Cancer here. For some of you, we are in Cancer season, so this is pulling this in, but I feel like this is getting really in touch with your heart and knowing that whatever in the past has tried to trick you, this could be your own, again, self-sabotaging thoughts or something like that. It's distorted. It's not the truth. And here's where we're moving on to a place where we can have love for ourselves, that we can see our importance in this world, and also know that no matter what stage we are in life, we are whole and complete. So that's really important, I feel like. And this moving on, it's moving on like wild horses couldn't drag you away, right? It doesn't matter the stampede. Also here they're showing me like almost solar plexus, like moving on to a place where We are whole. We realize, again, our divine power and stable, but being moved in the directions that we feel are right for us. This is no longer going with the flow. Even though I heard go with the flow at the beginning of this reading, it's no longer necessarily going with the flow and just following regardless of whether we think that's right or not. This is making sure that the movements that we take, they're calculated and they're done in a way that is best for us. This Ten of Swords at the bottom, so important as well that it came out, considering you have the Seven of Swords, which could be deception, confusion, or trickery, definitely. She also, if you look here, into the heart of the matter is this solar plexus energy, this self-confidence and self-awareness. And this is where it's super important to get rid of all those voices that tell you you're anything less than beautiful and that you're not worthy of the love in this world, or if you're not worthy of feeling good. Scrap that crap, my friends. Let that stuff go and let it fade into a place of self-confidence. And I'm feeling like if you are experiencing on a regular basis, when we are in the shadow period of Mercury retrograde as well, so you may have had a lot of things come up from the past, and here's where it's like it's time to end it. If we have these negative feelings or negative thoughts coming, I want you guys to think about, what is it? Does it hold merit? And I want you to rewrite it. Think about 3 things to change it. So if, I'll give an example, if you're looking in the mirror and you don't like what you see and you tell yourself that, it's gonna make me cry here, but if you tell yourself that you're fat and ugly, let's say, because there's a lot of us that do that, and does it make you feel good? No. Are you? Nope. There are a whole lot more things than that. I saw this quote, and it was a Facebook quote, but it got me up in the feels, and it said, you know what, our weight may fluctuate, but your worth won't. And don't forget that, okay? That you're worthy no matter what you go through, my friends, and no matter what you grow through. So grow through the struggles and understand that worthiness. I have to actually, underneath that Ten of Swords, which is definitely, to me, that's the shit that's got in your way, you've got the Devil, but it was in the reverse, because these are the things that have bound us, and bound us from experiencing true happiness and bliss, and now is the time that we can say, you know, I'm done. This could be getting rid of coping mechanisms. Some of you as well, because I said coping mechanisms. Some of you may be struggling with addiction, and this is finally the place where you can say, you know what, I have been using this to cope with this and trying to find different ways to overcome that. Definitely seek professional help if you feel that you need it. You know, it is, what have I heard? It's noble, yes, to do things on your own, but there is nothing wrong with asking for help, and we all need it here and there, especially if we have addiction problems. I mean, myself, I used to smoke cigarettes, and I needed a support group to help me with that, like a person that I had to go and be accountable to. And it doesn't make it less than because I didn't stop smoking on my own. It's still your choices that you do. So remember, your choices are really important in this world. Is there anything else, Spirit, that you would like to let Gemini know before we go? Any messages before we go? Yeah, a whole bunch. But they fell to the ground. So I want to show you some things that came. Queen of Inspiration. This is the Queen of Wands. And I feel like this is important because there's focus here, but this is pouncing and moving quickly on what draws our interest, what we feel is important to us. And as we're creating, if you look, this is definitely the Sun, but there's also coming into this third eye, opening up awareness and being inspired by Spirit, being inspired by the profound pulls and draws that we have in our world. So a few things. You have the Knight of Materials and the Three of Voices, and interesting that they came out with this because we're moving into a grand time, moving into something very stable, very grounded, where we're no longer listening to the shit that hurts us. We're no longer allowing that to keep us trapped behind a door. We're opening up and letting the light in. Under here you also have the Muse of Materials, which is the king, or the highest part of the Pentacles, and this also is knowing that you're on a path, you're on something very, very important, and there is no one else that can do this like you. So open up and own that. And underneath that we had Awakening. that you're a part of this huge, wonderful awakening at this time. And whatever is happening, make sure that it is coming from your heart. And also make sure that when you're opening up and you're speaking from the heart as well. So, last message is from the Healing with the Angels Oracle. And you have guardian angel. Don't forget you're protected. If you need a little extra help, ask spirit, ask your guardian angels to be there. They are here. Sometimes we just need to be a little bit more consciously aware that they're definitely here to help. And if you look at this card, this girl is in sorrow and this angel is trying to comfort them. So if you are in a place of sorrow, just know that your angels are here guiding you and comforting you, and they want you to exist in a state of serenity and happiness and peacefulness, and knowing your worth and your right to exist in this world. So under that, I love this, is self-acceptance. Accept yourself just as you are, because you are true divine beauty, my friends. And on the top, don't forget your power. It's important. When we feel powerful, when we feel strong, when we can assert ourselves, that's where literally our power lies, because we can conquer the world. So that's the message I have for you. I hope you all had a great month, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.